It's Fans Corner. Welcome to it, and thank you so much for making time for us. We are back in the Betway Premiership, and we've just watched Polokwane City against Orlando Pirates out and in Polokwane at the Peter Mokaba Stadium, the Old Peter Mokaba Stadium. That game ending 1-0 in favor of Orlando Pirates. A vital 3 points for Orlando Pirates in their chase to try and catch Mamelodi Sundowns at the top of the log. A goal that came through in the second half from Kosna TCBC after very dominant display from Orlando Pirates, but without scoring, especially in the first half. Also in the second half, they dominated most of the ball, but they couldn't come up with a goal from open play. But they did find a goal in through a set piece. A well taken free kick and a mistake from the goalkeeper, honestly misjudging the ball, allowing CBC to tap it in through the legs of the goalkeeper and putting Pirates ahead and giving Pirates a very important win. It was quite a decent game of football, actually. The crowd, the atmosphere was good. There was a build up of the crowd. The crowd, the numbers kept on swelling. I think it also has to do with the game that's going to play later on after this particular game, because there's just across the street at the new Peter Mokaba Stadium, there will be a game between Kaizer Chiefs and TS Galaxy. So there's some of the fans who probably arrived early for the Chiefs game who are going to be arriving, who will be watching the Chiefs game. So yeah, it's a decent crowd. It remains to be seen what's going to happen in the next game, but it was a decent game of football. But by that I mean it was a watchable game of football. I really enjoy watching Polokwane City play, especially against these so-called big boys, because they don't hold back. In as much as Orlando Pirates dominated the game, but you could see that this is a Polokwane City that also is not playing to try and draw the game. They were also trying. It's unfortunate that unfortunately at the front, their attacking players are not as potent as the Pirates players. So from that angle you could see the difference between the two teams. Otherwise, I think I enjoyed the game. First half, it was mostly Pirates pretty much dominant, even in the second half. But the thing with Pirates is, in the first half, I think they could have had a goal or even more than one goal. But the thing that I saw is what I commented about a while ago. I hadn't seen it in recent games, but I saw it again today, that sometimes they outrun the space. They outrun the space in a sense that they run all the way to the goal line and then try to play a cutback. And sometimes if you keep on doing that, you become too predictable. They run all the way to the corner flag and try to most of the time they did that. You saw Nkota doing it on the right hand side. We saw Rile Mufukeng also doing it. I think at times you just have to run up until probably 10 meters before the goal line and try to, if you're going to put that, gives you two options now, because if you run just 10 yards before the goal line, then you allow yourself two chances. Either you play a cutback, which you still have space to do that, or you could put in a cross, because it also allows you to do that. But if you go too far close to the goal line, then now it becomes a problem to put in a cross, because you don't have enough space. Also, you're forced now to play a cutback, and when you play a cutback, sometimes the defenders have a chance to deal with that. I think that's one of the things that I saw from Pirates, that they exploited the entire space. I think sometimes you just need to leave a little bit. That's the only thing that I felt that maybe did not do them a favor in terms of trying to get the goal in the first half. In the second half, we saw Pirates continuing where they left off. We also saw Polokwane City trying to keep to break play most of the time in the middle of the park. Polokwane City were trying by all means to make sure that Orlando Pirates doesn't settle down. So it wasn't as fluid as it used to be. Also, I feel like the match fitness of Tito in this particular game was a little bit questionable. He was a bit slow. Sometimes he took time to take decisions. He's not the Tito. He was not at his best. Let's be honest, especially in this particular game. So, but it makes sense. I mean, he's been out for a couple of games. So probably he's gonna pick up his game fitness again, his match fitness again in due course. But what I liked about what this means in the context of the PSL, in the context of the league, in the context of the title chase for Orlando Pirates, is that it gives us an opportunity to look forward to what is going to happen. What does this mean to Sundowns? What does this mean to Orlando Pirates? But I was looking, I was looking at the fact that this is game number 20 for Orlando Pirates, okay? First of all, Pirates did what they have to do. We spoke about this when they beat Sundowns. Even before the game where they beat Sundowns, I said they just need to make sure that they keep on winning their games and let them do what they need to do to stay on the chase. They should not worry about what Sundowns does, because otherwise that will affect them psychologically. We saw them after that they beat Sundowns, and now they are here beating Polokwane City. They've just pulled a back-to-back winning streak, which is important in the chase, especially with the gap that was that big at the top. Now this puts Pirates in a position where if they keep on winning their games, like we said in the past, they keep on winning their games until they catch up with Mamelodi Sundowns in terms of the games played, they would be 3 points behind Mamelodi Sundowns. In an ideal situation for Orlando Pirates, that is. We don't know if they can do that, because it's a big ask, especially for Pirates, who are also competing in the CAF Champions League as well. Both teams are competing at that level anyway. But what I then looked at after this game, while the game was playing, I thought to myself, okay, this puts Pirates at 46 points right now, okay, after 20 games. And after 20 games, they're left with 10 games to play, which gives them 30 points to play for. Hypothetically speaking, let's say Orlando Pirates go on to win their next 10 games. They could find themselves going all the way to 76 points, okay, because they're at 46. You add the other 30 if they were to win them. We are not saying they will, because I know that some people don't really understand sometimes when we try to explain the hypothetics. If they were to win all their games, they would be at 76 points. And guess what? They would find themselves in... It could happen. If it was to happen, it could happen that they get to 76 points, which would be a record number of points, and still not win the league, because they are done playing with Mamelodi Sundowns in the league. And Sundowns could go on to get even more points than them, which would make for a record-breaking season actually at this point. Because right now Mamelodi Sundowns are at the top of the Premiership. They're at 58 points. Okay, so they still have 21 points to play for. If you put the 21 points to the Sundowns 58, that puts them at 79. Okay. And then Pirates, if they were to win all their games, they would go all the way to 76, which is 3 points behind the 79. And that 76 would still not be enough to win the league. It has never happened before. It has never happened before that a team gets to 70 points and not win the league. In fact, we could go as far as having Pirates, which this is likely to happen anyway, that Pirates could go on to break their own club record in terms of number of points acquired in a season and still not win the league. Because I went and checked from 1996 when the league started, when the current PSL started. But remember back then, around 96 all the way to 2002, there were 18 teams. So they used to play 34 games, but now they play 30 games because there are two teams less. So in all this period since the beginning of the PSL era, Pirates' highest number of points acquired in a season is 64. And I think right now they are in a position to they can easily go beyond that, because to get to 64 now, they're at 46. They just need how many points? If you put 14 there, that gives them 18 points. They're 18 points away from getting to the 64. And that 64, they acquired it twice under the 18-team league. But in the 16-team league, Pirates have only been able to acquire a maximum point of 61. So they could easily surpass that 61 points, which would be a club record, and still not win the league. Those are the kinds of records we're looking at. And that then puts a perspective as to how good this Mamelodi Sundowns has been. You know, such that you would chase them and break your own records as a club and still not be able to catch them. That's how good they have been. I think over the past seasons, we haven't really been seen. We've been talking about how good they have been. We have not really seen how amazingly good they were, because there hasn't been a team that was close enough in chasing them. Even this Pirates we are not there yet. Until they've caught up with the number of goals, number of games played, maybe we can start talking and seeing. But I'm seeing a situation where Pirates could go on to break a club record in terms of the number of points acquired in one season and still not be able to catch the Sundowns. It could happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but all I want is a neutral between these two, because I support Kaizer Chiefs. But all I want to see is this league going a little bit further instead of the title decided about 5 games to go, 6 games to go, which is sometimes a little bit boring. It would be nice to go all the way to the last game of the season, even if it's the second last game of the season. It would be nice to do that. Last time we saw that was when, remember, Kaizer Chiefs were on top of the log for so long, and then right at the end, Sundowns came and snatched. That was one of the most painful. I don't want to talk about it, but anyway, I'd really like to see this one to go all the way to the wire. What I'm really impressed with is the run that Pirates has a potential of putting in. We've seen Sundowns doing this, so it's nice to see another team also doing it. And the other thing, the extra motivation that comes from the fact that the announcement that was made by the club that the coach will be leaving at the end of the season, so Pirates players would be even more motivated to try and repay this coach who came and awoke a sleeping giant in the form of Orlando Pirates, especially in cup competitions, as we've seen how dominant they have been in local cup competitions. And this could also give them an extra kick even in the CAF Champions League as well, which it remains to be seen whether we could have an all South African final, which would also be amazingly great if it was to happen. But for now, let's just wait and see if Pirates can pull a chase on this Mamelodi Sundowns and how far this chase can go. Sundowns still have 7 games to go before the end of the season. Pirates have 10, which means there's 3 more. They have to catch up on those 3 games, and then let's see what's going to happen. Otherwise, I think Pirates are capable. It's just that so far in the season, they've had those games where they've disappointed. They've dropped points where you don't expect them to drop points. But if they are going to change that about their season so far, that would make for a very good end to the season. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. This has been Fans Corner. We meet again in the next one. We await the Kaizer Chiefs against TS Galaxy game. We'll be doing the next video on that particular game.